Hey everybody! As you can see in my intro, I have special guest on there, but today I am the special guest. So you will see in the future, you will see, like I mentioned in the pre-show, you will be seeing the special lineup of guests that I have for you. We're going to be giving you a whole smattering of different perspectives to encourage you, to give you tips and training, and just all around be a blessing to you. So welcome to the first edition of Mompreneurs Unlimited. I am super excited to be with you. I am your host, Jenny Irvin, and I am thrilled about what this show is going to hold for you and where we're headed from here. So like I said in the pre-show, put your name and where you're calling or tuning in from. I'd like to say hi to you, and put any comments or questions that you have throughout the program, put them in the comments below. I want to say a special thanks to my dad, who is doing all the producing and video behind this. He is the mastermind behind this, and I'm just very thankful to him. So let's jump on in here. Today, I want to share with you my specific story of where I've been with my journey and how I began to work from home. Because here's the thing, I did not plan on working from home. That was not something that I just set about to do. The Lord really brought it about in a very unique way for me. So I want to back up. I want to back up to when I was first married as a young mom. And do we have some okay, we have some slides. Okay, so I just want to back up to when I was first married, and I was married in 1995, and it was almost 2 years before we were able to conceive our first child, Joseph. But after that, the babies came in quick succession, and I had a house full of little ones for quite a while, and I ended up very, very, very busy mama. And my hands were very full, but my heart was as well. And you can see there in the pictures, you can see my 6, we now have 8, but these were the original 6. We had a little span of time between my 7th and 8th child. So you can see Joseph, William, Rebecca, Emily, Daniel, and Hannah there in succession. And so we homeschooled our children, and we lived out in the country. And we had a very busy life. And I always thought it was tremendous to see other mamas that were able to make an income from home. But I did not feel like I had any talents that would be conducive to that. I was not a creative person. My sister could bake cakes like you would not believe, could decorate in the most beautiful way, and it was phenomenal. I knew other people that could sew and could, they had their own shops and their own abilities. And as the internet became more and more popular, I had friends that were making hair bows, and I had friends that were really having some wonderful home businesses. But I did not feel like I had any skills marketable like that. Not to mention, like I said, my hands and my heart were very, very full. There were a couple of times that I did try to monetize. Specifically, I have a blog called amothersheritage.com. That blog, I did for a while try to monetize, but I found that it actually was taking over my life. I found that my family was suffering, and so we went ahead and took a break from it. So I share all of this to say that it was not the right season for me at the time, and I did not have a lot of ideas of how I could bring an income from home. Now, let me just say that my husband always said to me, honey, I'm the breadwinner. Your place is in the home with the children. I want you to stay home with our babies and school them. He never put pressure on me to bring in any income from home. So I was very, very grateful to that. His mom was always at home when he came home from school. My mom was always at home, and so that was a very, very important part of our family dynamic. So I want to fast forward now several years, And I began to have some pretty major health problems. I ended up, like I said, needing to take a break from having some children to try to care for myself. I was very, very, very sick with adrenal fatigue issues. And I went to medical doctors, and I went to natural doctors, and I went to many, many different resources. I was on medication. I was on handfuls of supplements. I was on herbs. I was on everything you could imagine, trying to see what was wrong with me, why I could hardly lift my arms, why I was so exhausted all the time, why I was suffering from depression, why I was, as a happy mama of all these children, struggling to make it every single day. And so, I'm trying to remember, around 3.5 to 4 years ago. At this point, I had taken a break from having babies. My health had taken a little bit of a rise as far as I was doing a little bit better. And then I had 2 more children. And around the time that my youngest was a few months old, I hit all-time rock bottom low. I ended up having a horrible, horrible crash. And against my wishes, against my will, I was put on a 6-week sabbatical by both my mom and my husband, because they both realized that if they did not do something to help with my health, I was going to end up in the hospital. You can actually read my story on my blog, mothersheritage.com, and I start the story with the post, "The Day I Stopped Functioning." And it's a 2-part story, and you can actually read more details about that on the blog. So for 6 weeks, my children had to ask permission to come in to see me. I was not allowed to research my condition. I was not allowed to be worried or stressed about anything. I was not allowed to make decisions. I was not allowed to do anything that would cause me in my body any energy. I had to rest. I had to absorb all of the healing that I could, and I had to spend the time just in restoration. I was at a point where even noises would startle me. And I remember even just trying to go out to do something relaxing and turning back around out of the restaurant. It was just too loud. My brain was literally fried. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I was just exhausted. So, a friend of mine at this time she was part of a network marketing company that sold health supplements. And she started posting some things on Facebook, and I was actually very annoyed. I was irritated because I felt like, oh boy, here she is, another salesperson online. Stop giving me stories about how wonderful these supplements are. I have tried everything and nothing works, and thank you very much. And what ended up happening was, after seeing her stories for a while, and she herself was bedridden with adrenal fatigue, I decided there were 2 things, this and another company, that had been recommended to me. And I went to my husband and I said, okay, honey, I would like to take a couple of months and try one thing at a time. And I can't just be taking something because I'm told it's good for me. This would have to radically change my life, but I'm going to try one thing at a time. So I tried the first thing, and within about 3 weeks, nothing, no change. And so I ditched it. And so this other supplement company was my last effort. And truly, I was doing it to check it off my list to say, okay, I know that didn't work because nothing else works. But much to my surprise, within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I knew these were products were being blessed by the Lord. And I was a different woman. My children got their mama back. I began to be able to make decisions again. My strength started returning. Mentally, the brain fog started to lift. I started physically feeling strength again. And I knew the Lord was helping me. So at that point, I began to be crazy excited to share my story with other people. And that's how my first home business was born. I spent 2 years sharing with others about the products that had changed my life and still have changed my life, and I'm still on them. And I spent 2 years learning all kinds of things about network marketing. I learned what not to do. I learned what to do. I learned how to not be a salesy weirdo. Usually, most of the time through mistakes, because I was that salesy weirdo. I was so full of fire, so full of excitement. I wanted to change the world and spread this news to the world because it had helped me so much. I really wanted to serve people, but not everybody took it that way. And so I had a lot of hard learning lessons throughout that time. So fast forward a couple of years with this previous company, which I still absolutely love, and I absolutely, I still am on board with. I was approached about another opportunity, and from there, I went what I call from kindergarten to college in my network marketing skills, in what internet marketing really was. And I went from maybe more old school views to utilizing and leveraging the internet in a very professional way. And with my current business, we are very cutting edge with, and I had found myself Googling, trying to figure out myself how to do these more leveraging the internet. I wanted to stop having to talk to my friends and family, basically. I wanted to utilize worldwide the internet. And I have been vaulted over the past year into that with my current company. Absolutely love it. I have received mentorship from millionaire mentors. I have received thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of training that I now give to others through my page here, jennyirvin.com, and through my group, Mompreneurs Unlimited, and through my personal Facebook page. So that is how my story of home business began, is that I was not looking for a home business, but the home business came to me through the Lord blessing me with the products. Now, I want to address a little elephant in the room. Now, if you are watching this because you're a mompreneur, then I don't have to tell you this. But you might be watching this as somebody that is cynical, that is a little bit like, is this another MLM? And first of all, I want to tell you that Mompreneurs Unlimited is for any company, any entrepreneur, any mompreneur. And so what I do is I offer tips and training that you can leverage and you can utilize in whatever your business is, whether that's selling, sewing products from your home, whether that is, having a farmer's market, or whether that's being a part of a network marketing company. The things that I share can be applied for everyone. But as far as network marketing, I want to just give a little caveat. I used to thumb my nose at this kind of thing. Oh, is that another one of those pyramid schemes? Things like that. But what I'm here to tell you today that I have learned over the past several years with my experience is that network marketing, there are 3 wonderful things about it. The first is it is word of mouth. That's all it is. I mean, I go to the grocery store and I find that butter is only, 99 cents a pound. What do? I get on Facebook, or I pick up the phone, or I talk to my neighbor over the fence and I say, hey, guess what? Publix has butter on sale for 99 cents. What did I just do? That was word of mouth, sharing something that helped me. That's what network marketing is. The second thing that network marketing is the people that have created valuable products, putting that in the hands of moms and dads like you and us, like you and I, instead of paying high value, movie stars or sports figures, multiple billions of dollars spent in advertising. Instead of doing that and putting a commercial on TV, it's utilizing the moms and dads like you and I. So network marketing, the third thing, is that it allows the people like myself who don't have a product that they themselves are making to find something that they believe in and be able to represent it. It puts entrepreneurship back in the hands of moms and dads like you and I. So that was a little side bunny trail there, but that's just a little bit of my story, why I am where I'm at, why I'm doing this program, and what my heart is for you. My heart is to serve. My heart is to encourage mamas to stay home with their babies and to help you be able to do that. We're in a two-income society, and it's very, very hard these days to be on one income. And whether that is just that you want to earn a few extra $100 a month to be able to have that little bit of spending money, or whether that is that you're wanting to make, a good sizable chunk or even bring daddy home. That is why I'm here, is to serve you and to help you. So with that, I want to share with you a little bit about the ebook that I have written, and I want to go through with you just a little overview of what I cover in my ebook, A Busy Mama's Guide for Home Business. These are practical helps for the mompreneur. They are helps for you, and they are helps for those who desire to have a home business. Now, first of all, why would a mama desire to have a home business? I do believe the Proverbs 31 woman was a mompreneur. She went out and considered a field and bought it. But one of the things we need to do is we need to determine your season. And here's the thing, as I shared in my story, it wasn't the season for me at first. The season for me at the time was to be with my little ones. And that might be what the season is for you right now. And so if you're sitting here thinking, well, I don't know how I can possibly spend a spare moment, well, it's possible that it's not the right time. Now, I'm going to tell you in a few minutes some practical tips on how you can, with little ones, run your business. But I also do want to remove guilt from you if you are in a season where you feel like you just can't even think a sane thought because you are up with your babies at night. Do determine your season, because there is a time for everything. That's what Ecclesiastes says, and that is something that we all need to remember. It may be the season for you to have a home business, but in a different way, with a different focus than you have it now. A couple of years ago, my season for home business was there, but it looked different than it does now, because at the time I was homeschooling my little ones. And then providentially, for reasons different, it had nothing to do with me working from home, but my children ended up, 5 of them, going to a Christian school. And this fall, my last little child will be going to Christian school. So I'm in a whole different season now. And now my work is going to look different. So you may have a home business when your children are little, but it's going to look different than it's going to look when they're older. So determine your season. The second thing I would say is involve your whole family. A family business. One day I was calling in with for a meeting that my company was having, and my little boy in the background, my little 4-year-old, just pipes up when I was announcing myself, because they wanted to know who was on. I was announcing myself, and he just popped in, and Jed. And so my little Jed, in fact, today when I was getting on a meeting, I said, do you want to say and Jed? Because he is a part of my home business. My children are a part of it. They come home and they say, Mom, did you make your goals? They will say to me, all kinds of things. I've had my daughter help me before with my blog. And as they get older and their time is freed up, I may have them helping me even more with this. My oldest daughter is in 11th grade. As she graduates, who knows? She might become my assistant. Involve your family. Sit down with them and make sure that you tell them what's going on. We've had multiple family discussions where Stephen and I have explained to our children. At one point, I did a 90-day run in kicking off this business, this second business. And that required some intense work that Stephen and I together had ahead of time planned. And so we sat down with our children and said, this is what this is going to look like for this limited window. There will be times that Mom will be in the bedroom, the door will be locked, and Daddy will be, taking care of things. And that is what we decided together to do. So whatever you're doing, involve your family. If you're doing a live video, let your kids be in on it. This is not about perfection. This is about real life. This is what mompreneurship is about. One of my good friends, he is a work from home dad, and he does Facebook Lives every single day. And sometimes he's literally got his baby on his shoulder feeding her a bottle. There's been other times he's had to get off meetings because his little girl was crying. One day I was actually on a live training with the number 14th earner in the country with network marketing, and it was a video. It was a Zoom, and Jed was sick, and I literally was rocking my little boy who had a fever. I was rocking him while I was having the training. This is home business. This is family business, and this is what it's all about. So involve your family, and don't feel bad about that. Make it actually a part of your consistent effort. Thirdly, I want to talk about becoming a master of moments. Now, this is about learning how to take those little moments and maximize them to capacity. So, I want to give you an example. An example of that would be that I utilize my phone all the time. I have my phone with me a lot. I utilize Siri all the time. I talk to my phone. My children laugh at me because I will say something like, "That's funny, LOL, exclamation point," in a very monotone way. And they think it's just so funny. So I will literally be stirring spaghetti while I'm answering a question about the business with my phone. Our phones today are like our secretaries. And so learn to use the voice commands. Learn to say, "Siri, add to calendar, call Jim tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Learn to use your phone like your secretary and become a master of moments that way. Have a brain dump spot. And whether that's on your phone or that's a physical piece of paper, there will be times when you're homeschooling, there'll be times when you're, changing your baby's diaper, and you will think to yourself, "Oh, I need to contact such and such a person, or I need to do this, or I need to watch this training," or whatever it is. That's your time to grab your brain dump and put it down on paper. I will oftentimes think of training videos that I can do or blog posts, and I just write the title down so I can access it when I have time later on. Learn the power of 15 minutes. So if you only have 15 minutes when the baby is napping, have everything ready. Your brain dump is there. Your brain dump page is there. Your list of what it is that you want to do is already made, so that when you sit down, and I will go through this in another training at some point, but when you sit down, you're not spending 5 minutes trying to recreate in your brain, figuring out what it is you were going to do. So when you sit down, bam, you can be productive. And those 15 minutes can actually be more productive than an hour. You can have a power crunch 15 minutes, and it can be incredibly productive. So learn to harness that. Learn to utilize those kind of moments. I want you also to listen, or to think about listening to YouTube's training videos, training books. You can actually be listening to those in the car. You can be listening to those while you're cleaning the house. You can even be listening to those while you are doing things with your kids. We can put our phones in our pocket. You can take one earbud and have it in one ear and still be pushing your kids at the park on the swing or engaging with them. There are times, though, that it's taken me 3 days to get through one training, and that's okay. I get a 10-minute chunk here, I get a 10-minute chunk there, but you're getting through the training. When you go on Facebook, if there's something you want to watch, put it in your saved videos and go back for when it's training time. The other thing you want to do with your power hours, make sure that you are doing your income-producing activities. And the reason that I say that is we can spend loads of time wasting scrolling through Facebook. What are your income-producing activities? And for one person, it's going to look different than another based on what your specific business is. But beware of just sitting and doing nothing but training all day, or watching motivational videos, or branding yourself, or creating your blog, or making a nice graphic. when you're not actually, that's not income producing activities. So make sure you do your, what we call IPA at the beginning of your power time. Create a schedule or a routine so that there, I believe with our children that it's important to be there for them, but I also believe it's good for them to know the world does not revolve around them. So it's okay for them to be told, this is mama's time for 30 minutes. You're going to play a game with your sister, or you're going to watch an educational video, or you're going to read a book with your brother, or you're going to be with daddy for 30 minutes while mom is working on her project. And if they know that that is part of your routine, then that is going to create stability and routine and schedule for them. Also, make sure you use a calendar because I am absolutely the queen at getting the wrong dates for things, getting the wrong times for things. So make sure that you have your calendar, either a paper calendar or on your phone. I tend to use both. So those are a few things that are practical ways as a busy mama that you can use your time more wisely. Don't put expectations on yourself that are just going to create mom guilt, but make doable, practical ways. Find practical ways that you can begin to take little baby steps towards your goals. Remember, if this is a season where you have lots of little ones, your goals are going to look different than a mom like me whose youngest child will be going off to Christian school in the fall. So in conclusion, I want to talk about first things first. And I believe firmly, I am a Christian, and I believe that the Lord blesses when we put Him first. And so I want to encourage you to make a priority of taking Sundays off with your business. Make that a number one priority so that you can be focusing on Him, being with your family, and having that day of refreshment and rest. Don't let your business crowd in to that. Make sure, number two, that you are taking your time in the day to be with Him. Time for reading His Word, time for prayer. Make sure that the busyness of being a mama and being a mompreneur does not crowd that out, because I truly believe that if we seek first His kingdom, all these other things will be added. And I do believe as a busy mama, we can do that. I have many, many times given my children toys. You do not have to do this just when they're asleep. I have many times given my children buckets of toys and had them sit at my feet quietly, playing with their cars and trucks while mommy read out loud and prayed out loud. Let them hear you talking to God. My son right now, my little almost 5-year-old, we will walk up and down the street and I'll hold his hand, or he will ride his little bike ahead of me. And he will see mommy praying out loud, using her hands and using her arms and all of her expressions. But he will remember that, and that is good for them to see. So make sure that is first things first. So those are the few things that I would encourage you in today. A couple of tools, a couple of resources that you might enjoy. The High Achievers Playbook is a network marketing planner that I actually have a link for that in my ebook, but that would be something that has been helpful for me. Another book that has been very, very helpful for me is GoPro by Eric Worre. Many of you have already probably read that. Another one is Miracle Morning for Network Marketers. Now, because of my adrenal fatigue, I probably never will be a morning person. But the principles in this book really help with getting a start on your day. As far as apps, I love using Evernote for my brain dumps or the notepad on my phone. Canva is fantastic for putting together very fast graphics, as well as WordSwag app. That's another. Those are just some brief tools that for me have been very practical. And Canva, Evernote, these are free. The WordSwag was like $4.99, I believe. But they've allowed me to do professional looking graphics. So those are just, I probably gave you far more than than I needed to, but you will find all of what I just shared in more detail in my ebook, A Busy Mama's Guide to Home Business. You will find that, and if you have interest in this free ebook, just comment ebook in the comment section below, and I will send you a link for that. And I hope that is an encouragement to everyone. And so with that, we're going to wrap up our first edition of Mompreneurs Unlimited Live. There you see a picture of our family currently, with all of my little ones now becoming big ones. And we are a little bit more mature than when we first, those first photos that you saw. I also have a Facebook support group called Mompreneurs Unlimited, where we are just a group of mompreneurs that we can encourage each other, share each other's businesses, and I also get on live often on this page here at jennyirvin.com. So I hope this has been encouraging for you. Like I said, I have a whole lineup. Our next program is going to be one of my mentors, Shannon Lavinia, is going to join me, and I'm going to be giving her and doing an interview with her. She's going to share her story from being an orphan with literally living in her car to now being a mompreneur that is very successful working from home. And I am so excited and thrilled to talk to her. So I hope each of you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.